Hello everybody and welcome back to Julie's Orchids. I'd like to make a quick little apology. As you can see, we are filming in the bedroom. Most specifically, I'm sitting on the bed because, well, it's a bit cramped in here, but we've got all the lights are on. The orchids seem to be doing good. They're happy. And why am I filming in the bedroom? I'll tell you why I'm filming in the bedroom. I don't have access to my office, and the office has all of my filming accoutrements, lights, tripods, that stuff in there. Why can I not get into our office? Well, my husband is using it. There's a big paper coming up, and his research group that he works with also in Sweden are available at this time for them to collaborate some for this upcoming paper. So we're in the bedroom on the other end of the house trying to stay quiet so they can do their sciencey stuff and we can play with a box of orchids. So I will apologize for the lighting. I can't get to it. I can't get to much of anything. And I'm also stuck with no tripod, so I have to hold the camera, which will make opening this box, which is very nicely taped shut. And I don't think my left hand, and the scissors can open this box. So I'm going to put the phone down, and I'm going to cut through all the tape. And then I'm going to attempt to one-handedly open the contents of the box. Now, why did I buy this box? Well, I've been watching YouTube videos, and I've got some inspiration, and I decided, why not? So people that have inspired me to give what's in this box a go are Met by Nature and Hello Plant Lovers. So I decided to take a jump into the deep end of the pool. So I'm going to put the phone down and I'm going to cut open Fort Knox. We'll see what I've done. Alrighty, well, we've got the box open and there's a whole bunch of packing peanuts. So yes, I did make an orchid purchase. I've ordered from this company before, and I'm sorry I cut the invoice whilst cutting the box. But these guys have ICA 129 clearance and can ship plants into Western Australia. I don't know if they can ship to anywhere else in the world, but they can ship to me. So I've purchased several dendrobiums from this company in the past, and the live plants have come in very good nick, healthy roots. Few of them flowered immediately after arriving here. All of them have grown like weeds, absolutely 2 or 3 new growths. They've just been growing like crazy. I'll do an episode on one of those later because we've got some, I think, coming into spike. But back to today. So I'm not real keen on getting all of these packing peanuts and then having to clean them off my bed and out of my bedroom. And so we're going to hopefully not make a massive mess. But in case you guys can't kind of figure out what we're looking at, I bought some flasks. And let's see, peanuts. And I'm going to go flying. Let's put this out here. And I'm curious as to see the shape that they're in. All right, that's one. These packing peanuts picked up. And fortunately we have an empty spot over here. We can put some of these too. I've got packing peanuts all over the place. Alright, so I've got some flasks. And now we have some styrofoam and packing peanuts. Can possibly use those later. And what kind of flasks have I ordered? So I'm opening these up now because they just came in the mail today. Now I will say that I received a notice from Oz Post indicating that these would be in on Friday. So I was a bit shocked and I am a bit unprepared for these. So I thought I'd just open them up and have a check and see what condition these flasks are in. And again, this looks like it's going to require 2 hands, so I'm going to put the phone down and be right back with you. And here we have it, my 2 flasks. So why did I buy flasks? Well, I've been looking for these particular plants here in Perth and have been unable to find them. The nurseries that I normally buy from over east have not had them. And then Rosella Orchids had them in flasks, but not adult plants or even deflasked seedlings. So Carulia times Sib. And I don't know, that doesn't look too bad. And then Foul Philippinensis Silver Leaf times Sib. This one needs to be taken care of soon. So my plan, ooh, look at those roots. My plan is to take the advice of Nina from Ninja Orchids, and obviously I'm going to have to go to the local hardware store, Bunnings, today. But the plan was, if they came in good nick like this one, I think is pretty good, I was going to give them some time to acclimatize to my environment. This one, it's kind of liquidy, and I'm afraid it's going to smell, and this one we're going to take outside and clean up these plants. And I'm going to put them in a seedling tray with spag moss, and I'm going to grow them in the bedroom where it's the most humid and hope for the best. So they're supposed to be 25 plants in each one of these flasks, and hopefully I can get at least one from each to grow, but they look like they're fairly decent size. Looks like Julie gets to go to Bunnings, and like I said, I was not prepared for these. I thought these were coming on Friday, considering it's Wednesday, and I ordered these Sunday. I'm pretty impressed with the Australian Post and with Rosella Orchids, because they're over east in New South Wales. And yeah, that's on the other side of the continent. And the last time I ordered from over east, because of the coronavirus pandemic, it took longer than expected. That was my birthday haul. And those plants are doing fine. There's Repotting Geralda, and she's looking quite happy over there. Then we'll come back to these. So again, I'm going to put the phone down and throw on my shoes, nip over to Bunnings and buy a seedling tray. Okay, so I've nipped out to Bunnings, the local big box hardware store, and I bought some supplies, and that's my cat being nosy. So we bought some little pots and 2 greenhouses that I'm going to do some doctoring to. Anyway, so I've decided to go with this sort of setup. because this one needs to be taken care of today. It's disgusting. And I wanted to have time to let it sit with just the flask open for a couple of days to get acclimatized to the humidity levels where I'm going to be having these. But because of the look of that agar, I don't feel with that one I particularly have that luxury. So the hope is to maintain high levels of humidity that these little seedlings are used to in this very wet, sealed flask, and then slowly transition them to the ambient humidity levels that I keep in the bedroom here. So again, still stuck filming in the bedroom because of sciencey stuff my husband is doing. And I think what I'm going to actually do, because I don't want to get this smelly agar, from watching Matt by Nature and everyone that I've seen unflask, it seems like when they have liquid in them, they smell quite badly. And I don't want my bedroom to smell quite badly. I don't know what they qualify as quite badly, but I work in healthcare, and I've smelled some things that are really quite bad. And so I understand when some humans say smells quite badly, that it could be really bad, really foul. And I don't want that in my bedroom as well. I don't want that slimy liquid in my bedroom. So I'm going to go outside and deflask these and put them in the setup. And I'm not going to film that because it's quite breezy out there today. It's cool. It's a cool day. It was only 29 today, so it's cooled off a bit. That's cool. And the breeze has come in, so I'd say it's probably 18 to 20 Celsius. So it's very nice outside. And I'm going to go with that and hope the smell stays outside and not in my comfy bed or with my cat. And so I'm going to deflask this one, and I'm going to put it in these little pots, and I'll show you the setup that I'm going to use. I'm going to use obviously a top dressing of spag moss for the little tiny roots, but I am going to put some very small Orchiata bark mixed with a lot of perlite, probably half and half mixture, in the bottoms of the pot, so that when the roots get a bit longer, they grow into what will be their growing medium. And this flask looks really in good condition. There's no liquid. There's no plant stuck to the side. Sorry about that. No liquid, no plant stuck to the side. This one, I'm going to pop the top and let them sit in the bedroom adjacent to the humidifier and slowly get them used to life in their flask, but with the air movement that we have in the house. And then I'm going to slowly get those out of there probably this weekend because it's Wednesday, and get them potted up into the other greenhouse kit that I bought. These I'm going to grow under 10-watt LED lights, and I'm going to put them where I currently have my jewel orchids, and those are going to move to the living room, and these will take their place. And I may have to move my sarcos to put the other one in that area. I think that will give them plenty of light. I'm going to decrease the amount of hours that these LED lights are going to be on, because they do get a decent amount of sun for most of the day, dappled light from my window. But I may turn these on for only 5 or 6 more hours a day as opposed to the number of hours they're running now. I'll definitely do that immediately, and then slowly bring them up to what would be their growing condition lights. So I'll be back with you after I have dealt with this, I hope you can see that, disgusting sliminess and peel that poor plant off the side of this flask. I don't really know how I'm going to go about doing this, but I've got several liters of Brita filtered water that I have saved for this occasion, and yeah, I'll be back. All right, well, we're out here on the back al fresco. I am attempting to pot up those seedlings, and I thought I'd show you what I was going to do. So earlier I showed you what I purchased, and so this is how I'm going about doing it. I'm using the smallest Orchiata bark I have, mixed with equal parts Perlite Vermiculite, and I'm currently filling the little pots with just a bottom layer of that. And then the plan is to take some of this rehydrated sphagnum moss and put it in there. Then we're going to clean these little guys up, and I'll probably put a couple little plants in each one of these little pots. And to water it, I'm going to use my Brita filter and just basically pour the water in the bottom of the pot and then put the lid on it. I'm debating on putting some rocks in there. I think I might do that. Don't know yet. So basically all I've been doing is taking my half and half mixture of bark and just plunking it, little handfuls, in there like that, trying to get them all about equally filled. And I'm just kind of winging it. I want just a little bit on the bottom so that the roots have something with which to grow into, and this will be a bit more akin to what they will be using normally when they become bigger. And I'm going to be positive and think that this is going to become bigger and that these won't die, and I'll have way too many Phalaenopsis philippinenses. But I'm hoping also perhaps I could sell some of these. I've joined one of the local orchid societies, and if not sell them, at least give them to some of the other members if they're interested in them. So we'll see how that all goes. Well, it's a really nice day. I had to work today. So Wednesdays are my roster day off from my main gig, and I had my side hustle today, we'll call it that. The students are getting ready to go off to prac, and so we got to do some scanning scenarios and things like that with the students, and they're really excited. So it was a fun day at work, and now I get to come home and play with orchids, so it's just all over in general a fun day. So I think I have all of these filled to about the same level. And so I've got this rehydrated sphagnum moss. I've cut it up into little bits, and we're just going to kind of basically rest it in the little pots. I'm not going to really smush it down because the plan is to put little plants around the corners and then use some tweezers or something to put the little bits of spag on top of the roots. And then I'll probably give it a small little top dressing of just bark, mostly to help with, keeping the moisture in and giving the little roots something to go off of. So yeah, I'm just going to put y'all down while I do this, because I think I'm actually videoing more of not me doing this and than me actually getting them in the little pots. And I think you guys get a gist of the idea of what I'm doing. So I've got 30 of these little pots for this tray, and supposedly, I can't remember if it was 75 or 25, but at any rate, there's about between 25 and 75 plants in that flask. And I'm going to put the phone down, and I'll be back with you when we come to actually opening that flask. Well, all the little babies are potted up. I put 2 in each pot. There is about 25 plants in it. I like these, and you can see the patterning already coming up on the leaves. So what I'm going to do now is take these into their grow space in the bedroom, and we'll see what they do. I've got empty ones over here. Get away, fly. That, well, this one needs to go closer to here. That are prepared for when these guys get bigger, with luck, fingers crossed, and then I'll be able to put each one of these in their own little pot. But you see we got a nice little breeze. It's quite humid. That's the repot done on these little babies. I'm going to let the other one have a day or two to acclimatize to my climate, and I will repot those up on the weekend in the same fashion. Whoop, there's Happy. Happy! Little baby. Yes, that's my sweet girl. It's hard to get pictures of Happy because she likes to be right on me right now. She's on my lap. So lid's going to go on this. We're going to give it some water in the bottom and put them in their grow space, and I'll show you that in a minute. And here the babies are, all at home. And I'm keeping the little vents open so there can be some airflow, but there's about a 1/4 inch of standing water at the bottom of the pot. So I'm hoping that will wick up through the bark and up to the spag moss. So thank you again for watching my channel. If you like what you saw, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe would be nice. I hope everyone out there has a happy, healthy holiday season. And thank you again. Cheers.